Good evening. Thank you very much for having me this evening. I have an interesting story. I grew up in a very interesting situation. I went to Catholic school for 13 years, even though my parents were Baptists, and they wanted us to go to the best school in the neighborhood. But my parents would mark Catholic on the form because we got lower tuition. And so when I was 13, I asked my parents, what religion should I choose? Because they were Baptists and I was going to a Catholic school. And they said, well, you decide. And I decided to, at 13 years old, study different religions. So I would go to Buddhist temples. I would go to Pentecostal churches. I would go to mosques. I would just study and I would read. And what I learned is that what they all had in common is the motto for what we see right here, which is love for all, hatred for none. And I couldn't choose one because I felt anyone that makes you love others and treat others with respect and kindness and not just tolerate but celebrate each other is good for me, and it should be the one that you should be a part of. So what I'd like to do in the next 2 minutes is share with you a word that I've heard many different times, which I think needs to be brought back in today's society, and that word is celebrate. And several months ago, I was invited to host a award ceremony for a Christian radio station. And the pastor that owns the station had a number of awards, and he had more awards than were people that were going to get awarded that evening. And I said, why do you have so many awards? He said, because I believe in celebrating everyone. So he was celebrating people that were no longer doing business with him, that no longer had a show, because he felt that if you ever spent time with me, if you ever gave your time and your money or your attention, you should be celebrated. And what I thought about was how things have changed over the years. And unfortunately, oftentimes, when you look at the news, it's gone to rejection, which is someone has a different opinion within you, a different value, a different perspective, then we just reject each other, right? And the word rejection means to dismiss as inadequate. But who decides what is adequate and are inadequate? Then I moved to tolerance, where basically we allow the existence or the practice of something. And the question I ask myself is, so who allows that, right? Who makes that decision? Because I think in all of our faiths, we're taught that we should respect and value each other and not judge each other. And so what I would like us to think about is the word that comes to mind for me is celebrate, and that is to basically to praise someone or something and to say that someone or something is great. And this evening, to me, really reminds me of the importance of celebration, because this is a celebration of different cultures, different religions, and there's three different ways I think we can celebrate each other. And that one way is to be curious about other faiths and other religions. And I'm deeply curious to learn this evening because it's such an incredible experience to be here with all of you. Another way is to be thankful for learning something. I think we're all going to learn something this evening. I've already learned a tremendous amount. I studied and I read once I was invited, and I was looking forward to being here. Another thing to do is to don't try to change the opinions of others, right? So what do we want to do? We want to provide a different perspective and share each other's perspective. And I think if we continue to share that with people outside of this room, because everyone in this room understands that. We understand the value of respecting each other and celebrating each other. I think it's important for us to carry that message when we go out to our families and our communities, in our jobs, at our workplaces, and anything that we do. And so I thank you this evening for allowing me this time to share with you. I want to thank you for allowing me the opportunity to learn and to grow and to participate. And I look forward to learning and sharing and experiencing the rest of the evening. Thank you very much.